Well, good morning. Look, the sun is rising on our city. I'm gonna say let's pretend these are clouds and not smoke from the Omega factories. But it does look awfully purple, doesn't it? so, but yeah, welcome back to more SimCity. Our city is doing well. It may not be bringing in money at that same, fast and furious clip as if we were doing processors. But I tell you, the Omega is a really good way to make a profit, and only a few of our residential buildings have become, or even look at that, 19% residential. But I'm not going to go any further. Let's save some of that for other cities. But nice, it looks good. The city is making money. I do want to be able to bring in more of an income. I could just let this city run for a while, which I think I will do. And through editing, you won't have to sit through that. But I think this city is doing quite well. Let's see here. No rubble, no abandoned buildings. Good. I love this. Okay, mostly green. Excellent. Excellent. All right. Now, one thing that I do want to do, our population has gone up nicely, and we've even got some towers. Look at that. The one thing that I do want to do, if you remember, we put down a few houses here just to keep some things staffed. And I want to go ahead and let's dezone. I want to dezone these. Let's get rid of that. I don't think we need, because that was just going to make people, those few families that were there, it was just going to make them sick. And that brings up a really good point. I was looking at the comments, and a viewer was talking about oil and fuel and talking about how it's good for money but very bad for the future. The ground will be full of pollution, and it will make lots of sick Sims for a very long time. I agree with some of that, but I do want to just kind of caution, because I know if you read the comments, and some individual may read the comments, and while they're building a city. So yes, the ground will get full of pollution, but don't think that affects the entire city. And yeah, the oil. So let's kind of break that up into sections. Oil, ore, and coal are not forever resources. If you remember, this area was black, like here. And if you'll look, you'll see that it has now gone to more of a lighter shade of gray. It's not a forever resource. So I agree with that. But if you're doing oil and if you're doing fuel, because you may decide that a city is going to be fuel for its entire lifetime of that city. And I just want to caution. So let's take a look at this, because let's go to germs. See that? The germs are only here. We don't have germs here, and our city is germ free. If we go to air pollution, there's more air pollution being generated here, and some of this is from Omega, than what's being generated here. Now, if we do go to ground pollution, these oil wells are creating ground pollution. But look at how much stronger the ground pollution is here. So the most important thing to keep in mind is check your wind. Because we checked the wind before we worked on this city. We've got oil going, and the people that are sick in this city are not sick because of the oil. They're sick because we started with Omega. As you can even look, see our icons, how they're flashing. But if you come here, we're not getting nearly the flashing icons that we are here. So your industrial area is, especially if your industrial area has an Omega factory putting out purple smoke. So I really wanted to address that. But look, this city, very, very nice. We are just under 10 million. Oh, look, garbage dump almost full. We talked about this. So what's going on is those drones. Let's address this. Those drones, and we may need to extend this road. But let's do that. And then let's extend this road out here. Let's see how many more. So I can get a couple more here. Okay, so that should, let's go ahead and do that. So now we've got 2 down and we've got room for even a 4th. So good. So when you work on Omega, Omega drones, not necessarily Omega, but the drones, just know that they are going to create, they're going to fill up your garbage dumps. And had we known we were doing, well, we could do it. Let's do this. We can put it over here. Let's do that. There, good. Needs power. And we got plenty of power. Plenty of power. Speaking of power, safe, no radiation, wonderful. Keep in mind, we have focused heavily. We have 5 out of 5 education level and 1 out of 3 tech level. My advisor is not saying anything. So good. Wonderful, wonderful. So that's another thing. I'm glad that person made a comment about nuclear power. As long as you are doing nuclear power, first of all, in a city that has lots of water underground, and before you do nuclear power, do another source of power. Get your education, get your residents educated, and then do nuclear power. But nice, nice. Our people that are in our mini academy, which is what we're calling this park, we're calling it the mini academy. They are working hard. They're coming up with different technologies. They've come up with Omega drones. They've come up, they've nuclear processes, a more advanced way of getting water out of the ground. What else have they done? We could even say that some of these technological, they've made it so that the residents can put solar panels on top of their house. But nice, really nice. Had I thought about it, if I knew, because I'm trying to remember, I don't think I think we put down the Department of Education before we really got into Omega. If I had known that, I would have done the Department of Safety so that we could get a dedicated hospital. But we're not doing bad. We're in the green. Let's just make sure all of our clinics, that's at max capacity. That's at capacity. We may do another clinic or add on. Can we add on to this one? Ooh, we'll lose a building. So let's do, I mean, our city is at 43,000 simoleons an hour. I think another clinic is within our budget. I kind of want to stay, look at our icons. I kind of want to stay out here. Make it easy. Oh, maybe right here? Let's do that. All right, good. Good. So what I want to do, I want to get to the point, because the reason I did the Department of Education is I want to get us to the point where we are working on a great work. And I have found that working on a great work, it's really nice if you're doing it with at least two cities, because it can be a huge financial drain on a city, especially if that city, yes, now we're making 42,000 simoleons an hour. I don't know if I feel 100% comfortable and confident, because a great work, seems like a great work is about 20 million simoleons, somewhere in that range. So I'm a little hesitant. And the thing that I'm thinking about is we are buying processors. So maybe part of our story is they're saying, well, you know what? Yes, we've been buying processors, but why don't we, if we're going to be technologically advanced, why don't we produce our own processors? So I think I want to bounce back and forth. I want a city plot that, of course, is going to start out doing two things. I want to do processors. So maybe in between edits, that way I can have a city. I can maybe let this city run, and while it's running, it's building up finances and resources, and then the other city doing that as well. Because this city has done what it is that I want the first city of a region to do. Make it so that we can start other cities easier than the first city. And I'm thinking, do I want, I don't think I need a city plot that has oil. Although we got oil over there. Wow, that's the only city plot other than our first city plot that does oil, that has oil underground. I don't know if we're really going to need it, but while we're in this view, let's send one garbage truck. Let's send one fire, one ambulance, one police. I'm going to add on. We've already turned this back on. Good. We've got more than enough electricity. Because I'd like to get to the point where we are providing electricity for every single city in this region. And we can even turn off the power plants here. But let's at least, I want to go over, let's take a look. Because I'm also thinking about something. Okay, nice. All right. First of all, as always, wind. Okay. Where's that oil? Not much oil. Is this? This would be a really cool spot. If you're going to build an academy, wouldn't you put it up here? And I also need my university. Maybe this is an education. Maybe academy and a university up here. God, it could be cool. How much space do I have? Surely there's enough space for... I think the academy footprint is roughly the same. Okay. That's down the line, but that might be... Man, that might be... All right, well, if this is going to potentially be a staging point for building a great work, let's just... Oh, we got to go back. We sent fire, health, police, but we didn't send the most important thing. We didn't send any simoleons. That 50,000 simoleons will go real quick. go real quick. It's so cool. Think about it. Remember, just not that long ago, this was an empty plot. And just now, when I logged back into that city and we zoomed in, it was just so cool to see that. Look how it's developed. That's cool. So let's go with... Let's go with 2.5 million simoleons. And it would be cool, yeah, if we could produce processors here and send some of the processors here. That that would be a really cool relationship. All right, let's go back. And then when we load in, we're going to all right. Now let's buy some power. Let's buy, do we want to buy water? I can't remember how much excess water. Let's go ahead and buy water and sewage. There's our gift. Let's think about this. So if our pollution, we need to unlock processors. We need smart residents also. So we need a community college. So I need 5 medium tech industrial buildings or 5 high-tech industrial buildings. So we need a community college. We need some residents. Let's not worry about beauty. Maybe we put them. Maybe we put them out here. So maybe people live here. We get some processor factories here. And then we're going to have a bunch of trade depots temporarily here. Too bad this is going to be temporary. Wouldn't be bad to live out here on the coast like this. Let's get residents. We'll make this look nice at a later date. Let's just get some shopping there. If that's going that way, let's go. Let's do this. Let's do that. Let's get some industry going. I trust the power, but I don't know if I trust. So, oh, we got so much water. So let's take care of that over here. I'm a little bit. Let's do that. I'm gonna trust garbage temporarily. Okay, so we've got that. I really need them to get educated quick. Now, over here, I don't. I'm not as concerned about skill. I'm just concerned about that tech level. Oh, let's do this. Actually, what's going to happen is if I connect this, they're going to go shortest path. We could connect it this way. Kind of like that. If we do connect it, I'm going to need a lot more capacity with my road. Let's do that. Let's put that there. They'll drive there. We're going to need some transportation at some point. All right. And then, so now this becomes crucial, even more so than fire, health, police, because that's coming from another city. I need at least some of these industrial buildings to go tech. I need 5 medium tech or 5 high tech. So let's go ahead and let's take one of these roads. Let's take it to medium so that once these buildings convert, then we'll be ready. All right, we just need people to move in. We're gonna lose money until that where was that oil? That oil literally was right here, wasn't it? Yeah, we'll just lose money. We've got a city that is going to provide the financial help until this city is able to stand on its own 2 feet and potentially out earn the first city. Let's go ahead. Let's take this. So look at that petition to build coal mine. I don't even think coal. Very, very, very light coal. And I think I know what I'm putting up there. Do have do have ore. We could do some ore just to make a bit of a profit. I mean, we could do. Maybe we do one and see. Gotta have a sign. Yeah, why not? Why not? Let's get. We can get these shipments out. There, not bad. Not bad. We're gonna need more population. right, good, good. Now let's get staffed. Close now hiring. And then eventually we'll work our way up here. I've already think I have an idea for up there. And it's going to be fascinating to see when this city is actually truly a city, because right now I'm treating it like a staging point. What what will it look like compared to what it looks like now? I do need a town hall. That should be right on the water, shouldn't it? And I need to make sure I've got enough space for from my modules, my departments. I am tempted. It hasn't happened yet, but I am so tempted to call this city New Academy. Look, here comes the mayor. Here comes the mayor from our first city. I wonder why you made a U-turn like that. He never did visit. Going back to his city, that was the fastest visit. I don't know. That was kind of. I don't know how I feel about that visit.